Hello friends, hello everybody, hola, ¿cómo estás? In today's video, we are going to be learning to say the different names of animals in Spanish. Are you interested? Okay, then let's learn. What do we have first? We have a dog. And how do we say a dog in Spanish? It's called a perro. Perro. Can you see how I'm rolling my R? You have to roll your R and say perro. Okay, now how to learn the memorization of these animals. The trick is to note them down in Hindi so that you can memorize them later. So I will tell you the pronunciation for these in Hindi now. Perro. That's dog for you in Spanish. Moving on. What do we have here now? We have a cat. And how do we say a cat in Spanish? It's called a gato. 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 That's a cat in Spanish. What is this now? This is a cow. And how do we say a cow in Spanish? A cow is called a vaca. 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 That's a cow. Cow is called a vaca. What do we have here? We have a pig. And what is a pig called in Spanish? A pig is called a cerdo. Cerdo. I'll repeat it for you. Cerdo. Cerdo. That's a pig in Spanish. Moving on. We have a horse. And what is a horse called in Spanish? A horse is a caballo. Caballo. I'll repeat it. Caballo. Caballo. That's a horse for you in Spanish. Moving on. We have a very naughty monkey here. And how do we say a monkey in Spanish? A monkey is called a mono. Mono. I'll repeat it. Mono. Mono. That's a monkey in Spanish. What do we have next? We have a donkey. And how do we call a donkey in Spanish? A donkey is called a burro. Notice the roll in the R. Burro. 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 That's a donkey for you in Spanish. What do we have next? We have a mouse. And what is a mouse called in Spanish? Raton. 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 That's a mouse or a rat for you in Spanish. Raton. Now we have a squirrel. And how do we call a squirrel in Spanish? A squirrel is ardilla. 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 That's a squirrel for you in Spanish. Ardilla. Okay friends, what do we have next? We have a leopard. And how do we call a leopard in Spanish? A leopard is called a leopardo. Leopardo. I'll write it in Hindi for you. Leopardo. That's a leopard for you in Spanish. Leopardo. Okay. Now we have a lion. And what do we call a lion in Spanish? El león. 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 That's a lion for you. Un león. Moving on, we have a tiger. And what do we call a tiger in Spanish? A tiger is called tigre. 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 Tiger. Tigre. That's a tiger in Spanish. Now we have a wolf. And what is a wolf called in Spanish? It's a lobo. Lobo. I'll repeat it. Lobo. Lobo. That's a wolf. Okay, friends. Now we have a bear. And what is a bear called in Spanish? Oso. 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 Oso is a bear. That's called a oso. An oso. Next, a camel. The camel is called camello. Camello. That's a camel in Spanish for you. Camello. Camello. Next is the cute but big elephant. An elephant is called elefante. 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 That's an elephant for you in Spanish. Elefante. Okay, we have the one with a very long neck. This is a giraffe. And how do we call a giraffe in Spanish? Jirafa. 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 That's a giraffe for you in Spanish. Okay, next is a goat. And how do we call a goat in Spanish? Goat is a cabra. It's a cabra. Cabra. That's a goat in Spanish. Okay, friends, next is a rabbit. And how do we call a rabbit in Spanish? A rabbit is a conejo. 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 That's a rabbit for you in Spanish. Conejo. Okay, friends, now that we have learned the names of the animals, it's time for a game. So, how about guess the animal game for you? I'll show you a picture and you have to tell me which is the correct animal. Okay, so what do you think this is? Is it a cabra? Is it a perro? Or is it a conejo? Yes, you're right. It's a perro. Correcto. Okay. Now what do we have? We have, this is a rabbit. So what do we have? A rabbit. And how do we call a rabbit in Spanish? Is it a camello? Is it a vaca? Or is it a conejo? What is this? This is a Conejo. Yes, you're right. Correcto. Now what is this? This is a cow. And how do we say a cow in Spanish? Is it a perro? Is it a vaca? Or is it a conejo? Did you say a conejo? No. Did you say a vaca? Correcto. That's right. It's a vaca. Next, we have now a cat. And how do we say a cat in Spanish? Gato, perro, or lobo? Yes, you're all right. It is a gato. Correct. How about this? What is this animal? Does it look like a cerdo? Or an elefante? Or una cabra? What does it look like? Yes, you're right. It's a cerdo. The pig is called cerdo. Okay. Now, what is this? Can anybody guess which animal? Is it a perro? Is it a cabra? Or is it a caballo? Which one do you think it is? Perro, cabra, or caballo? I think it is a perro. No. Is it a cabra? No. Caballo? Correcto. You're right. It's a caballo. Next. How about this one? Which one is this? Yes, that's an easy one. No points for guessing. It's a Giraffe. Not an elefante, not a caballo, but a Giraffe. Okay, what does this now? This looks like a wolf. And how do we call a wolf in Spanish? Perro, cerdo, or lobo? Yes, you're right. It's a lobo. Okay, how about this now? Which animal do you think this is? It's a nice goat. And what is a goat called in Spanish? Cabra, vaca, or perro? Yes, you're all correct. It's a cabra. Well done, all of you. Now, this should not be that tough. This is an elephant. And what is that called in Spanish? Gato, Giraffe, or elefante? You're all correct. This is an elefante. Correcto. Now, friends, we have a camel. And how do we call a camel in Spanish? Cabra, camello, or caballo? This is simple. It's a camello. Correcto. Now, we have this one. What is this now? It's a bear. And how do we call a bear in Spanish? Vaca, jirafa, or oso? Jirafa? No. Vaca? No. Oso. Correcto. That's an oso. Okay, friends, what do we have now? We have a sheep. Baba black sheep. And what is it called in Spanish? A lobo, oveja, or perro? You're right. It's an oveja. That's a sheep in Spanish. Okay, now what do we have here? We have a tiger. And how do we call a tiger in Spanish? Cabra, camello, or tigre? That's not too hard. It's a tigre here, right? Okay. Next. What is this now? Oh, it's the king of the jungle, the lion. And how do we call a lion in Spanish? Vaca, león, or tigre? León. There you go. Correcto. Okay, and now what is this? This looks like a leopard to me. And how do we say that in Spanish? Is it a lobo? Is it a leopardo? Or an oveja? Yes, it's a leopard. Leopardo, correcto. Ooh, what do we have? We have a tiny squirrel here. And how do we call a squirrel in Spanish? Ardilla, elefante, o gato? Yes, you're right. Ardilla. That's correcto. Okay, next. Oh, we have a very tiny rat. A mouse here in front of us. And how do we call a mouse in Spanish? Lobo, vaca or raton? Yes, friends, you're right. This is a raton. Okay, now I can see a donkey for us. And how do we say a donkey in Spanish? Oveja, burro o lobo? Burro? That's correct. Muy bien. Okay, now we have a very naughty monkey. And how do we call a monkey? Mono, gato or leopardo? Yes, you're all correct. This is a mono. Okay, now I have another interesting game in which you also have to guess the right animal. Let's play it now. You have to identify oso. Can you tell me which picture is the oso? The one on this left? This side? Yes, you're right. This is an oso. Correcto. Now I have conejo. Can you all tell me which one is conejo? Conejo is a rabbit. So which one do you think is the rabbit here? This one? Yes, correcto. That's a conejo. Okay, friends, how about a burro? Can you tell me which one is a burro? This one? This one? Yes, you're right. That's a burro. Okay. Now I have a tigre. How about you all tell me which one is a tigre? Is it this one? Oh, is it this one? Oh, is it this one? This one? Right? Correcto. This is a tigre. Now, please tell me which one is a gato. This one? You think it's this one? No. This one? Correcto. This is a gato. Okay. Giraffe. What about giraffe now? Which one do you think is a giraffe? That should not be too hard. This one? You're right. Giraffe. Now we have a mono. Who will tell me what a mono is? Is it this? Or this? Or that? Mono. Okay. Ardilla. Which one is an ardilla? What is an ardilla? It's a squirrel. And where is a squirrel? This? Ardilla, right? Okay. How about a caballo now? That is not hard. Caballo? Correcto. You guessed it right. That's a caballo. Okay. Now we have the leon, which is the king of jungle. And which one do you think is that? Very, very easy. That's a leon. So we have this, the leon. Okay. Now friends, how about a raton? Who's going to tell me what a raton is? This one? This one? Yes, you're all correct. This tiny one is a raton. Okay, what do we have next? A leopardo. And who will tell me what a leopardo is? That's not hard. Leopardo? Correcto. Okay, next. Oveja. Which one is an oveja? This one? This one? No. This one? Right. This is oveja. Okay, what about a lobo? Which one is a lobo? Are you all pointing to this one? Yes, you're all correct. This is a lobo. Okay, next. Conejo. Which one do you think is a conejo? The center one? That's correct. Conejo. Now, who's going to tell me an elefante? Which one is an elefante? This one? This one? Very, very simple. Elefante. Okay, next. Perro. Very simple again. That's a perro. And then we have a cabra. And who's going to tell me which one is a cabra? This one? No. This one? No. This one? Correcto. So that's a cabra. Okay friends, I hope you enjoyed playing this game with me and you enjoyed learning about animals as well. I hope to see you back for another video. Stay tuned, keep watching, bye-bye.